Hinchcliffe now coming up around the outside. He was a lap down earlier, the first guy to go 3 wide, and it doesn't work yet.
But Hinchcliffe backed out in the drivers' meeting today. The drivers were warned and reminded as they nearly come together.
There it goes. That's the big one. That's the big one.
Big crash.
Oh boy. Hildebrand, Jones, Hinchcliffe, Alotion, and then many others up front. This and Hunter-Reay is about as big as we ever see in IndyCar.
Little oil fire there for Hunter-Reay on the headers, and you can see the frustration from, I think that's either Connor Daly or Munoz. The front and rear was knocked off.
Well, we knew it was going to happen at some point. He came off turn 2 and got down on the side draft of Tony Kanaan, touched his back tire with his front tire, and then got into it looked like he got into a tank slapper kind of back and forth.
How smart does Max Chilton look right now?
Wow.
Not taking tires or stopping on that yellow, and here's the yellow on the restart that I didn't think would happen.
And now a lot of the fast guys are out of the field.
Talking to Mikhail Alotion, see him moving around in the cockpit. We saw Ryan Hunter-Reay out.
And I'm afraid that's just too crazy for 100 laps left to go in this race.
Okay, that was Munoz. I saw the 14 up front. The A.J. Foyt cars are very difficult to distinguish. That's Ed Jones.
I feel like that's the first crash Ed Jones has had all year.
I know, at Detroit, it was the first time he ever made any wall contact when he just scraped the wall at one point. Carlos Munoz.
We'll get a replay here pretty soon. I see one on the Big Hoss TV is playing, but we'll get you one pretty soon. It looks like after Hinchcliffe got into the tank slapper, he just kind of pinballed off of a couple of cars, and then everybody started spinning.
So the one we haven't mentioned yet, I don't know if we mentioned Ed Carpenter, and I hadn't seen Tristan Vautier either.
All right, here we go. As we see Hinchcliffe come off on the high side here, he comes down on Tony Kanaan here. He's kind of blocking Vautier.
Yeah, but it's his
teammate.
And
they touch right here.
It's his teammate Alotion who's giving Hinchcliffe nowhere to go.
Oh, Vautier got contact as well.
Alotion made it 3 wide down the back straightaway, and when Hinchcliffe had to move up, he was pinched. Terrible result for Vautier that was having such a great run. So both Dale Coyne cars, both Schmidt-Peterson cars, both Ed Carpenter cars all go out in that accident.
So watch here, watch this. So he starts coming down, they touch right here, and he got into that tank slapper. So as we see that the tank slapper is when you just kind of lose the car, and now you're fighting the car back and forth, trying to correct it left and right, fishtailing, and you're out of control. As we watch from Alotion's rear view camera here.
Auto run.
See the back end of Hinchcliffe's car was snaking back and forth, and you're just out of control. You can never keep up with it, Townsend.
There's 3 lanes here at Texas down the back straightaway. The problem is when Alotion went wide, went 3 wide, he occupied the 2nd lane. He gave these guys nowhere to go. On board with Carpenter. Now watch this, Alotion's up there, and Alotion drops down into the 2nd lane, so Hinchcliffe has no room.
Inside. Well, we're gonna crash. Slow down.
Oh. And that was Hunter-Reay that came from behind him after Ed got turned.
I love it when the spotters state the obvious.
When this happens, there's really no time for these guys that are 20, 30 car lengths back. You're in it when you get there. You're going 225 miles an hour. There's no way to even slow down.
And that was exactly like the Rossi crash earlier, which is you're the sandwich. Hinchcliffe's in the middle of 2 cars, nowhere to go. The real estate disappears in front of him or beside him, and he just ping-ponged.
And I just started talking about the drivers were reminded 3rd car in should be the first one out. And we saw, I think it was Hinchcliffe had just done that a moment before.
Yeah, I'll maintain that Hinchcliffe would have been...
Go low.
I'll tell you what, Ray Hall did some good driving there.
Stay where you are.
He was
Great job.
real switched on there. He got it woed down and didn't get in there wide open like a lot of guys.
Look at Vautier with his left hand on his helmet. It was a big impact, but I wonder, is he just thinking, oh my, or what's going on?
Or is he holding the visor down, or?
It was a big, I mean, Vautier had the hardest hit as he just ricocheted off and had a bad angle. Red flag.
A lot of cleanup, so they don't want these guys running through all that debris. There's debris everywhere in turn 3 and 4, all the way down to the apron. So you run through that stuff, you'll cut a tire down.
Dale Coyne Racing, his 2 cars involved in this crash that's produced a red flag just moments ago, and he is not happy. The cars are lined up on pit road. We sit under the red flag, and just moments ago, he went down to have a word with Tony Kanaan.
And I don't think he was saying good luck.
He's obviously very upset. He's had a rough month since Indy. He's wrecked now 4 cars, and it's been a really active race tonight with Kanaan. He had an incident with Rossi, and Rossi got pinched here in the middle by Kanaan. Kind of did the same thing, ricocheted off 2 cars and hit the wall. Single car accident. But then we have another angle here from Dixon. It's the same thing. We just got pinched in the middle, and around he goes. So here we are with Hinch, and now Kanaan is on the bottom here, and Hinch is Kanaan maybe did come up into his lane. So you're trying to fit 3 cars in 1 lane, and there's just not enough room. So Townsend, I'm wrong. I thought Hinch came down on him, but it really looked like Kanaan moved up, and there was 3 cars trying to occupy 1 lane.
About 10 minutes ago, you said you're never wrong.
Well, no.
I'll
admit when I'm wrong.
Listen, if you're at Texas going down the back straightaway at 220 miles an hour, you're going to fade up a bit to get into turn 3. I'm going to put a little bit of that on Kanaan. I'm also going to put some on Hinch's teammate, Michaela Lotion, who was 3 wide up the high side and didn't have to hold down his teammate that tight. When you're 3 wide, it's very difficult for the spotter or any of the drivers to know where the other 2 cars are going to go or what's going to happen. That's how these situations happen.
It all happened in the span of about 0.2 of a second. We see 3 cars occupying 1 lane, and there's just no room for Hinch, and he made contact with Kanaan. He bounced off of his teammate, and we've got about 8 or 9 cars in a huge accident, and you're talking millions of dollars of damage.
Well, if you're Dale Coyne, as you said earlier, Paul, you just can't afford to have this kind of night after all the damage they've had. And good to see J.R. Hildebrand walk out of the medical center. I believe Robin Miller's down there.
Good to see a walking kid, victim of circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Hinch got stuck in the middle there. You know, a few guys got 3 wide, and two out of the 3 ended up in the wall. I was right behind Ed Jones, had a big run on him down on the bottom, and he jammed on the brakes before I had a chance to really and when you're running that close, I mean, even if we broke at the same time, I got big arrow wash right into the back of him. So yeah, I mean, it sucks because we had a great second stint, you know, ran it up into the top, you know, 6 or 7 or whatever there, and you know, Fuzzy's vodka car was working great. We made some adjustments the second time around. Ended up with a right rear tire that we were having an issue with, so started to lose it, but was still in touch with the leaders. You know, I'm totally confident that we would have hauled it back to the front. So hopefully our boy Ed will fly the flag, and you know, see what we got. But
You all right, wrist-wise?
I'm fine. I was just along for the ride. So.
Okay, thanks, JR. Katie?
Well, we saw Dale Coyne go over to Tony Kanaan and have some words with him, so I want to get Chip Ganassi's view on this. Chip, you've seen the replay, or we can show it to you now. What do you think? Was this Tony's fault?
Well, Katie, you know, first of all, I want to say this is the kind of racing we're trying to avoid. And you had the 5 car out there. That 5 car crashed in the pit lane, was trying to crash all night, and he stuck his nose in that situation right there. Why didn't the 5 car just stay right there? Okay, instead, he gets pushed down to Tony, and everybody knows going into turn 3, there's an undulation to pavement. It's damn hard to keep these cars going straight, and these guys want to take it 3 wide with 100 laps to go. I got no understanding why.
Are you saying anything to Tony right now?
No, he's got the car turned off. We can't talk to him.
All right, we heard Chip's view. Guys, what do you think upstairs?
Well, Chip is defiant in defense of his driver, Tony Kanaan. Tony Kanaan's got one of the fastest cars, Townsend, of the night, so he's still in contention to win regardless.
Well, remember when you're driving these cars, you don't see the peripheral. You're trusting your spotter. Now your spotter could be saying outside, outside, and might not have had time to get the 2 outside information. Tony knows if there's only 1 car outside and he fades up, it's fine for Hinchcliffe to make room. He probably didn't know that Hinchcliffe's teammate Aloshin had made it a 3-wide situation and left no room for Hinchcliffe to fade off.
Well, and he wasn't side by side with Kanaan. He only had his back wheel at Tony Kanaan's, his front wheel to Tony Kanaan's back wheel. So Tony Kanaan can't see Hinchcliffe. He's just, like you said, relying on his spotter.
Also, Tony Kanaan's going to follow the draft of the cars in front of him where he has the advantage, and he is ahead at that moment. So I don't think that's anything intentional from Tony Kanaan. I think Hinchcliffe found himself wrong place at the wrong time. I'm going to put that as a racing incident. Unfortunately, a racing incident that took out almost half the field.
Took out half the field, fellas, and Ryan, the bad luck continues, brother. Just an innocent bystander.
Yeah, I don't know what I need to do to get things right here, but had a good car early on. We came in, made a downforce adjustment, and then I completely missed the compensation on front wing, and then I went straight to the back. And we spent the rest of the night trying to claw back, just missing the whole downforce front grip equation. But started getting going there, and then this deal happened. There were guys making too many moves out there late into the corner, and I'll save my opinion for it after I look at it. But I came down there, cars spinning everywhere, sparks everywhere. I went for the apron. I kind of high-sided a bit, and then just, a passenger from there. So there was nowhere to go. You can't jump all over the brakes in these cars once, you're doing 220 miles an hour in the corner. There's not a whole lot of places to go.
Fun racing or crazy racing?
I like it when races really come down to handling, not this stuff, like where you have guys that have never seen or driven in pack racing before, and they get out there and they're just making crazy moves. A lot of times I was backing out of places when I had really good runs because I wasn't sure if the guy was going to clear right up into me. It's not the same cast of characters it's always been. So when we all of a sudden have a pack race like this, there's a lot of surprises out there, and it's not the best place to be behind the wheel when these surprises happen. But I was having fun in the beginning, loved it, and then from there, missing the balance, we just we dialed ourselves out. But glad everybody's all right, I guess we learned a lesson from what happened here today. I don't know, pick up and move on. I need to get a race finished here so I can get my season started.
Okay, Marty.
James Hinchcliffe out of the Care Center, and you were very adamant, very upset on the radio with who?
Tony. It's a shame, man. I mean, he's the most experienced guy in this kind of racing, and unfortunately, Texas isn't what it was. It's gone back to what it used to be, what we got away from. I got to run off of 2 here. If you look now, he's 2.5 car widths to our right, or to our left, sorry, and then just drove me straight into McHale. We were 3 wide. Either his spotter didn't tell him we were 3 wide, or he didn't care. Which I find hard to believe because Tony doesn't race like that. So it was really surprising to just see him keep. I mean, look how far away from me he is, and he just goes right. I don't know if he knows the corner's left. It's such a shame, man. I mean, it turned into way more of a pack race than we've had here in a long time, which unfortunately leads to situations like this. A lot of good cars taken out. Glad everybody's okay, but we had such a good car, man. We got that penalty earlier for the pit lane thing, and I'm gutted for Elio. That was really unfortunate. He came right out in front of me all the way to the fast lane. I tried to go around him and looped it. Rookie mistake and took a good car out. I feel bad for those guys. But then we were racing our way back up to the lead lap. We were side by side with Will for the front of the field, and we were coming back up. I think we got ourselves up to 5th. I mean, the car was awesome. The Aero Electronics car was incredible. That last pit stop from the Schmidt-Peterson Motorsport guys was great. It's just super frustrating in a day that was going so well like that.
I want to get your reaction. Chip Ganassi just said a moment ago that maybe you should have lifted because you were in the middle of 3 wide. What's your thought on that?
I think it's adorable. I wasn't the last guy to the 3 wide. If he wants to play that game, McHale probably should have lifted, being the last guy to the party. But Tony turned right into a left-hand corner, so it's a shame. We wrecked a lot of good race cars, and he got away with it. I mean, he was involved in the Rossi deal. I didn't see that one totally, but I know he was involved in it. He got away with this one. It's like I said, he doesn't normally race like that. I don't know what happened.
Talk about the racing overall tonight. Is it getting racier as it gets cooler out here? And also the tires have been an issue tonight. How much were you managing that inside the car?
Yeah, I think everybody was having to manage the tires a bit. Obviously Firestone came here with only 1 day of testing, brand new surface. There's a lot for them to learn, and they did a great job, I think, bringing something that was safe and going the distance. Like I said, the racing was way different. That second lane of 1 and 2 was definitely coming up. We were using it to good advantage, when we were trying to get our lap back there. But again, it's just a totally different kind of race. I mean, Will was driving around on the white line, which we haven't seen here in Texas since 2011. So everybody was learning a bit. A lot of the guys in the field don't have a lot of experience with that kind of racing. They weren't around back in the old car days when we raced like that, and it showed today. It's unfortunate. It's not the kind of racing we want to be doing. I mean, it looks exciting, but unfortunately it leads to stuff like that.
We got some very honest comments from James Hinchcliffe. Katie?
Well, when Ed Carpenter left the medical center, he immediately went over to Tony Kanaan. Ed, what did you say to him?
No, I didn't go talk to Tony. I just came to the pits. Really, for as big of a crash as it was, our car wasn't that bad. So the guys are back looking at it, seeing if we can get it back together. There's 4 cars in front of us that are crashed out, so maybe pick up a few points. But just disappointing. We had it was a wild night for us. We got to the front and then kind of got shuffled back, and then ultimately got caught up in this one. But see if we can get back out there, pick up a few points. But yeah, I mean, the replay I saw, I think that was Tony's fault. You can see the dotted lines. He's just driving up the track. He wasn't. We talk about lane integrity and giving each other space, and I have as much respect for Tony as anyone in this series. We've been racing together a long time, but the replay I saw, I know he wouldn't like if he was raced that way, so he'll probably think different when he sees the replay.
Robin, it'll be interesting to see if Ed can get that 20 car back out.
Okay, the most exciting driver of the night, Tristan Vautier. Hell of a race for Dale Coyne. He went down and gave Tony Kanaan a piece of his mind after the crash. What was your perspective, kid?
There was nothing I could do. Honestly, they tangled in front. And, Inch started speeding and I had nowhere to go. Just a bummer because obviously, we were very fast. We could have fought for the win, but more than anything, I wanted to finish the race for my return, and I think I raced this way all night. I raced hard, but I really had the checkered flag in mind, and I wanted to have a solid finish. So I'm kind of pissed off. I really wanted to see the end of the race, but I think we can be proud. We represented Seb pretty well, who is recovering. Get well soon, Seb. We really did our best. I think, we showed a lot for this race, but I'm a bit sad it ended this way.
The guys in the booth were saying this is a great audition to keep this ride the rest of the season. If you can, what's your sports car commitments? Can you run some more here for Dale?
Well, Kenny, my team owner from Sun Energy One Racing, is just such a great person. He supports me way beyond my commitment racing full-time for him in USA. So I don't know, he just wants to see me succeed and always pushes for my career. So I think, if I got the shot, he will help me out and free me up for the races that conflict. But I don't know, I think the team might be set with the replacement. At least I showed, everything I could tonight. I gave it all. I raced really hard, and I'm happy we maximized everything. It's just a shame taken out by something out of our control, and the team really did not need another crash because of all the crash damage they've had, but I tried my best to avoid that and race well. It's just, sometimes you can't do anything about it. So.
Well, you did a hell of a job. Booth?
All right, thank you, Robin. And the Kenny he referred to as Kenny Habul and his company Sun Energy, and maybe it's Esteban Gutierrez we see as we watch James Hinchcliffe on board with his massive hit. 8 cars involved, red flag, but back to racing soon at Texas.
Motor Speedway still under the red flag for an 8-car incident here, including Mikhail Aloshin, who said earlier on he might have the best car in the entire field out of the infield care center. Now, Mikhail, you were on the outside of 3 wide there. Any thought of maybe lifting and getting out of that before it even happened?
Well, the thing is, I was much faster than the guys that drove in the lower line, and I thought that we're gonna all stay together up there, but then I think that James touched with Kanaan. I don't know the reason for that, and then basically we all crashed. Because I think we would make it in 3 lines up there. So because I knew that James is there, Kanaan is there, and I didn't understood what was going on, because I gave space to them, but I think that something was going on between James and Kanaan. And in the end, what we have is 2 great cars that ended up in a wall, and that's just dumb and stupid, and I'm very disappointed just regarding which shape of the team we had this weekend, and we could be in the top today, and we just lost this opportunity because of some idiots up here.
All right, I want to ask you about your fire suit. It's actually torn. What happened there?
Well, it's just a little bruise up there, but that's fine. I'm going to be fine for next weekend in Le Mans.
He's going to Le Mans next weekend, but as he mentioned, his Smith-Peterson car is awfully fast. Felt like he had a chance to win, Robin.
Marty, rookies aren't supposed to be really smart on ovals. They're learning all night, but Ed Jones said he was really comfortable. And get this, he's on the brakes when this crash is going on, and then what happened?
Yeah, I got hit from the rear. That spun the car around and put me in the wall backwards as well. So, you know, nothing I could really do about it. I tried to avoid the incident, and I got caught up.
Was this fun tonight? You said yesterday you kind of enjoyed this oval.
I had a lot of fun. For me, this is like the most comfortable I've ever been on an oval from the get-go. You know, it's new track for me yesterday. And yeah, I just had so much fun racing out there tonight. A lot of the guys were really respectful to run side by side, but there was a certain few which didn't really respect the others, and that's what caused that incident.
That's when you were comfortable here and have a good time, you can tell that you're young and brave. This reminds me of sprint car drivers, which you were last year.
Yeah, I did a bit of sprint car driving, and I think I got to get back to that. Maybe that'll help me a bit more on that high line.
Did you, what about cars? I mean, the next race, a couple weeks in Elkhart Lake, you guys had so much crash damage. You guys think you got enough spares?
Yeah, well, I have to go see the team about that. Yeah, it's a big hit for Dale. Dale's putting so much effort into this team, and the car's been so strong everywhere. And to have this damage, yeah, it's painful. But you know, this team has been knocked back so many times in the past, and they come back stronger every time. So I'm sure we're going to be back and even better.
All right, we're glad Ed Jones as well, Kevin.
Thanks.
Yes, he has been impressive. He was strong again tonight, and what a month plus it's been for Dale Coyne Racing.
Listen, we got 94 laps still to go, Townsend. I've heard all these opinions of whose fault, whose guy's fault. And at some point, somebody's got to lift out. And if I look back to last year, we talked about Simon Pagenaud with 3 or 4 laps to go was in a 3-4 wide situation like that, and he pedaled out of it, and that was the championship move.
Well, because he was leading the points. So right now, a lot of criticism of Tony Kanaan. I can promise you he's tuned all that out. He doesn't care. He's here to win tonight.
That's right.
And he's got a chance to win for the first time in almost 3 years. The cleanup is just about done. We should go back to racing very soon as we ride along with Mikhail Aloshin.
Hold on.
The Texas Motor Speedway, where we are still under red flag conditions. You can see the number 14 of Carlos Munoz undergoing some work right now. He was involved in that accident, but is out and okay. Carlos, you were slicing your way through that field, having one heck of a race before that crash.
Yeah, you know, we're always in the top 10. You're staying with the leading group. We just need a little bit more speed, you know, in the restarts. But man, what we can say, you know, after starting last because we missed the tech yesterday, I just wanted to put, you know, a good race for my mechanics to get up because they feel so sorry for me yesterday. But I just wanted to do a good race, and you know, I think it's the most competitive car we had this season. You know, we just keeping running with the front guys with the lead pack the whole time, and nothing I could do in the crash. You know, when you have a multiple car crash, there's nothing you can do. It's weird that things happen in the front group. And normally it tends to happen in the back, but this time it was in the front. It's a shame, you know. I think it's only 11 cars now. I think it was a great show for the fans. We're having a blast in the car. So, you know, we have to keep working that way we're working, and let's see a safe race now and a nice race.
Kevin, we've now checked in with everybody, and they are all okay. Good to see them all out. Sounds like we're going to go yellow here soon.
Yes, no doubt.